This week, we're going to be reading a story called Now and Ben. It's informational text, which means that it gives you facts about a topic. You'll see that the illustrations in the story look more like fiction, but this story is telling about a historical figure named Ben Franklin and his important inventions that we still use today. One of the important documents in our history is called the Constitution. The law is the set of rules we live by. The Constitution is the highest law. It belongs to the United States. It belongs to all Americans. If you look at the document, it looks old. Do you see the edges of the document? Look at the writing in the document. It's not exactly the writing that we use today. It's very fancy. The Constitution starts with the words, "We the people of the United States," which means it is a law for all of the land of the United States. The Constitution says how the government works. It creates the presidency. It creates the Congress. It creates the Supreme Court. The Constitution lists some key rights. Rights are things that all people have just because they are alive. By listing the rights, they are made special. They are made safe. The Bill of Rights is a part of the Constitution. The Bill of Rights lists many rights of the people. The Constitution was written in 1787. It is over 200 years old. We actually have old copies of what was created. In 1787, a group of men met to write the Constitution. They did not like the way the country was going. They fixed it by creating the Constitution. We call these men the framers. Some of the framers are very famous. George Washington was a framer. So was Ben Franklin. The framers met in Independence Hall during a hot summer in Philadelphia. They had a lot of arguments. In the end, they agreed to the words in the Constitution. They knew they had to agree. If they did not agree, the fighting would keep going. So the Constitution was written so that the people in our land would be able to make decisions and live by a set of laws that the whole country would abide by. On the left, you see a copy of the Constitution. On the right is the Bill of Rights. It's very difficult to read this because it's written in script and it is very old. But we can find the wording from the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, and we'll talk more about that this week as we read Now and Ben. This is a picture of Ben Franklin. He's most famously known by his spectacles or his glasses that he wears. You'll see why as we read. In our story, some of the things that are mentioned that may not be familiar to you are an odometer, the Franklin stove, who is named after Ben Franklin, the lightning rod. Do you see the key? You may be familiar with the story of how electricity was invented by using a lightning rod. This is an armonica, not a harmonica, an armonica. It's a type of musical instrument. And bifocals. As I said before, you see a drawing of bifocals. Bifocals are a type of glasses where it has one lens on the bottom for seeing up close and a different lens at the top for seeing far away. We'll read more about it in the story Now and Ben.